Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Just kidding, but no, really. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and being here with me today. All I'm doing today is doing my makeup super fast. What I do every day type of makeup look. This is literally what I do every single day. Using all Drugstore makeup products. Yes, so that's all we're gonna be using. I hope you all enjoy. If you just wanna know what the products are, you can just look down. I put them all in the description box, but if you wanna see how I applied them to my face, then just watch the video and find out. Without further ado, here's the video. Thank you so much for being here and watching. Thank you guys, love you. Hi loves, so the first thing we're gonna go in with is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I love this foundation. I use the color in Natural, and I'm gonna go take the Mario Badescu facial spray. I like to spray that on my face if my face is kind of dry, or I'll spray it on my sponge if that's a little dry. And I really like to use that to help me blend everything in. And then I'm going to take a little bit of foundation to put on my forehead. I don't like to put too much on my forehead because then that's where like the creasing starts and all of that stuff that we do not want. And then I'm going to take the Beauty Blender and just blend everything together. And then I'm going to go in with the Infallible Full Wear L'Oreal Concealer. I'm going to go in on under my eyes, on the sides of my nose, a little bit on my forehead, a little bit on my chin. And I'm gonna take the same beauty blender, the same sponge, and just blend everything out. Once I blend everything out, I'm gonna use the opposite end of my sponge and just blend out all those creases, like where the foundation and the concealer kind of meet. I'm gonna blend all of that out. Alright, and then next is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. I like to take my sponge, dip it in the powder, and go back and forth under my eyes, back and forth on my chin, anywhere where there's facial lines, where there's lines on my face. I like to go back and forth to make sure that I get in between all those like lines on your face. You know what I mean? So just take care of it all. Then I take the Morphe M438 and I dip it in the powder and just go back and make sure I set everywhere where I put the concealer. So I kind of use the sponge a little bit and the brush. Next, I'm taking the Morphe E34 brush for my bronzer, which I use Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Bronzer. This bronzer smells so good. It's affordable. It works. I don't know what there's not to like about it. So I love it. I continue to use it until I find a better one. And I like to go on my cheeks. I make sure and go up and down. I'm not moving my brush back and forth. I like to go up and down on my face. And then I take the Morphe G41 to contour my nose. Going back in with my bronzer brush and just make sure it's all blended out, no harsh lines. Then I'll take my concealer brush and just make sure it's all blended out all around my nose. Go back under my eyes, just make sure everything looks nice and seamless. And for blush, I use a BH Cosmetics blush palette, and I go in with my Morphe R12. I love using a fan brush for blush. I just think it makes the blush look so pretty on the skin. I like the way it applies. I just love it. I did it once and I never went back. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm taking my facial spray and kind of setting my face and taking that same sponge that I've been using and just press everything into the skin. This just helps my creams and powders blend together and look really good on the face. For highlighter, I'm taking the Wet n Wild's highlighting powder in Golden Flower Crown and the infamous Morphe M501 to highlight. I really focus on the tops of my cheekbone and then not so much on my actual cheek, so that way if I have texture it doesn't show as much. And then of course down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my lips. I like how that looks. Now moving on to the eyes, you can take any blending brush, whatever you want, whatever you are more comfortable with for your eyes. And I just go back in with the bronzer from earlier and I just add a little bit of color to my eyelids. And then I'm just bringing it under my eyes as well and just blending it a little bit under the eyes. Then I'm gonna go back in with the same highlighter that I was using for my cheeks, and I'm gonna use the Morphe M560, and I'm gonna add that highlighter shade just on the inner corner of my eyes and then bringing it into almost halfway onto my eyelid. And then I'm just switching brushes right here, and I'm just blending together the shimmer and the bronzer. And I do this especially on lazy days, just trying to get out the door days. I take the M432 brush, it's just a super flat brush, and just dip it into any black eyeshadow, and I just stamp it on my eyelids. Look at that difference, yes ma'am. And I just do that for eyeliner. And then of course, curl the lashes, and I'm going to be taking the Voluminous Lash Paradise, the L'Oreal mascara. And then of course the bottom eyelashes, and I always focus more on the outer lashes than the inner lashes. We're almost done, guys. And for lips, I'm taking the ColourPop and I Love Side-Eye Lippy Pencil in the shade 951. And I'm just lining my lips and giving it some color. So if I put chapstick or lip gloss or whatever, they still are a pretty shade. And to set my face, I'm taking the Natural Finish Setting Spray and my sponge and just pressing everything into the skin. Okay, so right here, if you had gotten mascara on your eyelids or on your nose, like I did, then when that's dried, I take a spoolie at the end and just kind of scrape it off really quick. And we are all done with the video, the look, everything. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you again so much for watching.